Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Vlogmas Day 11. There are 14 days till Christmas when you're watching this video, and it's my birthday if you're watching it on the 11th. I'm pre-filming this video on December 2nd because I will be out of town. As you know, if you watch Vlogmas Day 9 for my birthday, that happens to overlap with Allie's cheer competition. Anyway, for today's video, I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys and do something fun and different, a little more high quality with the camera setup. Hopefully it looks that way. I really am blind, so I cannot see the monitor, but I asked you guys on my Instagram and YouTube channel to ask me questions, and we're just gonna have a little girl chat. I'm going to answer all of your burning questions, so I would just say treat this like a podcast. Hopefully you have a snack, a drink, I don't know. And if you're stressing out about finals this upcoming week, or you just took finals, wherever you're at, if you're watching this later on, hopefully this video will be a little source of entertainment to de-stress you and take your mind off all that stuff, and you can just listen to me run my mouth. So first question, we're gonna get right into it. How to stay in a healthy relationship with it becoming toxic? I would say, first of all, you have to communicate with the person, and I'm like preaching to the choir because I am not the best communicator. I wish I was, but I just get really in my head and I overthink a lot. So I would say communicate. If you feel like something is toxic, or you feel like somebody in a relationship is not putting forth the same effort you are, all those kinds of things, you have to communicate, because chances are that person might not know what they're doing is hurting your feelings or upsetting you, and if you tell them, they will change that action. And if you tell them they don't change that action and you feel it becoming more toxic, you have to remove yourself from the situation. You have to be honest and create healthy boundaries. And my mom always told me, I think I've said this in a video before, one of my favorite quotes that she told me from a young age, she always said, "You are not someone's rehabilitation center." I know Jesus calls us to be there for our friends and be a constant source of love and just a listening ear in the lives of people that are struggling, and I absolutely agree with that. But when it gets to the point where you're like taking on someone else's burden, or you are just so overwhelmed with, I guess, the struggles of someone else to the point where it's deteriorating you mentally, you gotta get out. I personally have not dealt with like a toxic romantic relationship. I've dealt with toxic friendships, but all the things I'm saying is like, I feel like my best self would do this. I have so much to learn still. I'm so young, but that course of action just makes the most sense to me based on other people's experiences that I've witnessed or advice I've been given. I just realized another person asked about dealing with toxic friends, especially when they've been your best friend for years. I'm so sorry. That sounds like it's just the worst. Like when something goes that way, you have to create healthy boundaries, like I said, and pray for the person. And if they want to change their actions and they want to try to save the friendship or salvage all those memories, you can't beg for someone's, not attention, I don't know, I feel like that sounds wrong. You can't beg for someone's effort. You can communicate and express what you feel like you need in a relationship, and if the other person doesn't reciprocate that, it might not be worth it to keep them in your lives. I got a lot of these questions. How do you manage both school, YouTube, a social life, and time for yourself? That's a really good question. Sometimes I'll like be in my head because I think about a lot of people at my school, because I go to a private school that play sports or in like 5 AP classes, just crazy stuff. And I'm like, I don't even do that much. And then I really think about my schedule. I'm like, I kind of do a lot. And I say this, I feel like periodically I'll answer this question. It is all here in my notes app. This is my secret. The method to my madness. I have this synced to my computer, so whenever I like get a new assignment or I realize I have to do something, I'm planning things out, I just put it on there, and I use that as my planner. And every day, like, I will just have a list going of the things I need to do. At the beginning of this year, I was really hard on myself. I wouldn't let myself like go to lunch after school with my friends or hang out with people, because I'm like, I need to cut myself off from social situations and prioritize what's best. And I still agree. I think it's important to prioritize the right things. But for me, I am such an extrovert, and I have to like be around other people and talk to other people all the time to stay sane, because I'm just wired that way. I love social settings. I love that aspect of high school, and I don't necessarily work social stuff into my schedule, I guess. I more so work around it. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but if it does, hopefully that helps. And use the notes app or get a planner or something. I don't know how people just remember things off the top of their head, like what they need to do. It's a crazy foreign concept to me, so props to you if you are like that. This person asked a lot of really good questions. There's 3 of them. First one, what's your favorite story in the Bible? The first one that comes to my mind is Esther, because I feel like there's so much to learn from her and her courage. And I also love the story of Mary and Martha. I was doing a devotional about this. I'm gonna find it and read the verse. Okay, it's Luke 10. It says, Jesus doesn't chide Martha for being a hostess. He doesn't say don't clean your house, don't cook for guests. He simply says Mary has chosen what is better. It talks about Matthew 11:28, where Jesus says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will will give you rest. And the author of this devotional said, like Martha, you and I can't effectively operate in our gifting if we're serving with an anxious heart. We can't give God all the glory when we're trying to please everyone around us. And that kind of just hit me. Like, I am always going, working towards the next thing. And like, before I know it, I'm gonna be in college. I'm gonna be, I hope, married one day. Like, I don't know. It's just a crazy concept to me, and I don't want to look back on this time and remember like me being stressed out all the time with a crazy to-do list. I think I'm always going to look back on moments in my life and be like, that was the busiest time ever, and I don't think it's ever going to get less busy, which is a scary thought, but I think it's all about learning to enjoy the moments and learning to live in the present and what God has for you right now instead of looking for the next thing or always being anxious about what you have to do, because it will get done. Like, one way or another, it always gets itself done. I don't know. I'm just rambling, but you get what I'm saying. Life will figure itself out. There's another verse in the Bible, I don't know exactly what book it's from, but it says, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has enough worry of its own. And listen to this. This is the rest of that devotional I was reading. We have been set apart to know Christ, to sit at his feet. We've also been set apart to serve him with everything we are. Jesus has something much better for us than checking off an endless to-do list or worrying about whether we should push more and try harder. He offers us himself. He is the Prince of Peace, the God who does not drive us, but draws us. That's like mic drop for me. And this is a verse that Jesus talks about, and then I will move on to the next question after this. He says, Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. And that's when Martha's like, Jesus, why don't you care? Like, I'm doing all this work around the house. My sister left me to do it by myself. And that's Mary, and she went to go literally sit at the feet of Jesus. And Martha's like, I'm slaving away here. Like, what do you want me to do? How is this not good enough? How is Mary doing better? And it's not that Martha wasn't doing good enough. It's just that what Mary was doing was better. I need to move on, but this is just really important to me to talk about. If Jesus were coming to my house, I'd be like, clean the baseboards. Like, let me get everything perfectly in order because the king of the world is coming to see me. I would be a Martha. I literally would be on stress level 1000, when in reality, Jesus just wants us to sit at his feet. I feel like that was literally just a message for myself to hear. Like, I needed to hear that because it's a busy time. Thank you for that question. Also, someone asked, what do you feel like God's teaching you right now? That is also my answer. If you could visit one place in the whole world, where would it be? I've always wanted to go to Italy and see the Amalfi Coast and eat their pasta. I cry thinking about that. What is your future husband prayer list / personality list? I think I've read this before, and I have not looked at this in a while, which I probably should look at this and remind myself of the standards I have set. I've talked about this before, but I have this list, and I have like a prayer to my future husband that I wrote when I was 14. I'm 17 on the day that you're watching this video. So I've had that for 3 years, and that's just saved. But I also have this list because I know when you like somebody, like, so many things just, you know, all the red flags, you like to brush them under the rug. So I have this so that I can keep myself accountable and not brush those things under the rug. Some of them are like random things that are just like silly and important to me, and some of them are actually like, this is a deal breaker. Someone who's a man of God, someone who's family oriented. We have to have similar like morals and values and future desires. I feel like that goes for any relationship. Someone with a good sense of humor. I love to laugh. I love to have a good time. And if someone is like staring at a wall, like, to have a conversation with, you know what I mean? I would have a hard time with that. And that is like, for someone else, that could be great because they might think that their personality, you know what I mean? Everyone views everyone differently. So I guess to me, like, someone with a good sense of humor that shares my sense of humor, someone who can provide for me and a future family and wants to have kids. I would love to be a stay-at-home mom, and I don't like whatever is in God's plan is what I want, but I would love to have children one day. So that is a must. Someone who likes to watch and play sports, because I grew up in a family where we all played sports from a young age, and it's always like every fall football season, every season sport, I guess, is like screaming at the TV, and we have like these college teams that we love. I want that for my own family one day, and in my own house is just those same memories from when I was really young. This one is important. Someone who does not smoke or do drugs or have bad addictions, not from my own doing, but I have seen how, like, firsthand, how that can really, I feel like it's self-explanatory. You know what that's a deal breaker thing. I'm just gonna run through the rest of these because this is probably getting bored. Someone who's serious about relationships and what he wants to do with his life, honest and tells the truth, someone who is a good communicator, and then somebody who is like fit or in shape, or like just like a healthy person, you know, and has good personal hygiene. Sorry, I ran out of storage. I had to delete stuff. Okay, back to the list. Last thing is someone who supports and like is okay with the fact that I share my life online, because obviously it's a big part of my life. Sorry if the lighting is changing. It's getting a little dark outside. But next question. Do you and Allie plan on going to or applying at the the same college next year? No, so many people ask me this question, which is I find very interesting, but I don't think so. Just because we really want to go and have our time of being apart and being individuals. I don't know exactly how Allie feels, but that's my standpoint on it. But that will by far be probably my hardest goodbye. That will be so sad, because the longest we've ever been away from each other is like 2 weeks, I think, when she went to Summit last year for cheer. Modesty, what are your thoughts? I feel like I answered this in a lot of Q&As. I did a faith-based Q&A a while ago, and I'm pretty sure I answered this question more in depth than I ever have, but I think that it is important to be modest, but I think it's more of a heart posture. Like, you know why you're dressing the way that you are. Like, if you're trying to show off your body, and I don't know, I think obviously there's a reason behind that. It could be insecurities, you could be like trying to get somebody's attention, all that kind of stuff, but I just think it's sad because our bodies, like on the outside, like that's the least exciting thing we have to offer. What is inside and your heart posture is so much more important than wearing a one piece versus a bikini. How do you push yourself to be so productive? I don't know. Honestly, I think, I don't want to say like I don't have a choice, because I do. Like, you have to make the choice every day to put forth your best effort. But I guess if I don't like keep up as much as I can every day, I would just literally go insane. Favorite YouTuber, love your videos. Thank you. My favorite YouTuber right now is Anna Hyde or Mia Salazar. Mia just moved to Bosnia and she's on this faith journey. She had this spiritual awakening. It's crazy and it's really amazing to watch. So if you have not seen her podcast or watched her videos, please go do that. And Anna Hyde is in nursing school. I think she just passed nursing school. I was watching her Instagram story. She travels all the time. I've loved watching her college experience, and she has just such a fun, laid-back personality. What are some tips for applying to colleges and everything related to junior year? I really need to get on that. I have this ACT book that's been sitting in my bedroom that I have not opened one time. So that's my project for Christmas break. Hello, my battery died, so I'm just going to finish the rest of the video here. Anyway, I think I was moving on to the next question. If it cut me off at a weird time, I have no idea when it cut me off, so we're moving on. This is a good one. And I also got like a lot of questions, of course. Boys, are you in a relationship? Are you single? You know, all that stuff. I am a single Pringle. And I think this is a really good question, so I'm going to answer it. But I'm trying to find my archived Instagram story where I have all the questions. I posted about this in like November. Okay, here's the question. How did you know you were ready for a relationship? Do you regret it? Do you think you were ready for a relationship? Love your channel. Thank you so much. So if you need some context, I had about a 4-month relationship from late February, early April. It was last spring into the summer. I need to sit on a pillow. Hold on. Okay, that's better. So I haven't talked, I mean, I probably have talked a little bit here and there, like enough to qualify as in-depth, but this relationship, I learned a lot from it. First relationship I had ever been in, and it's still the only relationship I've ever been in. And like I said, I learned so much from that relationship. Great guy, he treated me really well, but it just like simply didn't work out between us. I think looking back, we were two very different personalities, and I'm not entirely sure that it would have worked out long term, because I want to be careful with the way I'm saying this, because I know like everyone who goes to my school and knows me knows who I'm talking about, and I really have no hard feelings about the situation. I'm just like, this is my own reflection from it. I learned that I needed to be a better communicator from it. So many things I learned, and I don't want to talk about why I don't think it would have worked out, because that's not necessarily my business to like talk about somebody else. I just want to talk about myself and like my own reflection and my own opinions on like whether or not I was really ready for the relationship, basically to answer the question. So that is some context. If you really want to do some FBI investigation, he's in some of my videos. It's not like I completely like hid that part of my life whatsoever. I also did a video like right after the breakup. I think it's called Life Update. Anyway, that's, if you want to go do some investigating, feel free, go into the archives. But I think I was ready for the relationship. I don't know if you ever like know you can be ready. I do not regret it whatsoever, because like I said, I learned a lot from it. There wasn't a moment where I was like, oh, I'm ready for a relationship. I just think it made sense to me at the time. In hindsight, I don't think that I was probably ready for a relationship until I turned 16, because I don't know, it's just a really pivotal year for me this year, but it wasn't necessarily about me being ready. It just made the most sense to me at the time. Like, why would I not invest in that and get into that relationship? It was like a sea of green flags at the time, at the beginning, and we're on good terms. Like, we have a whole bunch of mutual friends and I see them every day. There are things I wish I could have changed about it for sure, but everything happens for a reason. So that is that. Okay, last question. We're gonna end with something fun and lighthearted. What's the most wanted item on your Christmas list? I think It is the Nike shoes that I talked about. My act of kindness for today is to donate to charity. I am donating a portion of the revenue I've received from Vlogmas so far to Compassion International today. I sponsor a child through Compassion, and I just love what they're doing. I believe in it so wholeheartedly, and I want to support them as much as I can. So I'm a big fan of this organization. If you guys want to go check it out, you can. They help children who are in poverty in third world countries have a better life, and they bring them to Jesus, and I just think it's really cool, and it's to be celebrated. So if you are feeling generous today, I encourage you to give to them also, or you can sponsor a child. There's so many options for donating on their website, and I found them through Milena and Jordan Ciciotti. I think that, like I said, what they're doing is incredible. So that is all for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you have not already, and I will see you soon in my next video. Thank you again for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Mwah.